You guys know I love a good first-person shooter, and you also know I'm a huge fan of the PS5. So for today's list, I thought it would be pretty cool to take a look into the future and check out the first-person shooter games that are coming to the PlayStation 5 that look really, really good, and I'm definitely going to be picking up. What is up, everybody? Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and we're gonna go over upcoming PS5 FPS titles that are coming out within the next 2 years. First up, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. This is easily the coolest title on the list, right? Now, Warhammer 40k is getting another FPS game next year. Following the success of the Doom reboot, we started seeing a lot of boomer shooters flood the market, but I honestly don't have anything bad to say about the trend because boomer shooters, they're a lot of fun. On top of that, Warhammer is one of the most appropriate franchises to make a boomer shooter. I mean, because you already got the buff Space Marines and the over-the-top violence. Bolt Gun is an obviously Doom-inspired shooter, and it hopes to win over fans and newcomers alike with some frantic, fast-paced gameplay filled with bloody violence, cool movement options, and a 90s-influenced visual style. That's perfect. It's also just an awesome name for a boomer shooter. Like I said, it's set to launch on all major platforms next year, so if you're a PS5 player and you want some more old-school FPS action, check it out. Maybe it'll get you into the larger Warhammer universe, which is massive. At number 9, Payday 3. Seriously, Payday 3. The long-awaited sequel to one of the best co-op shooters ever made is finally coming next year. Now, following Payday 2, developers Overkill Software wanted to branch out and do something else, so they released the extremely disappointing The Walking Dead FPS. It was so bad, it was pulled from shelves. The team is going back to basics this time. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're just going to make the sequel that we've been waiting for over a decade. Payday 3 recently got a confirmed publisher, and the developers reiterated that they are indeed releasing the game next year. It's believed to be coming on all major platforms and will be built on the Unreal Engine 4, which is a pretty massive change from the previous game. Payday 2, one of the best co-op games on the market. Still to this day has a huge community, so hopefully Payday 3 can live up to the franchise's legacy and it won't be a repeat of the Walking Dead situation. Graven. Now, Graven is a game I've mentioned a couple times, but it kind of came and went when it launched on PC, and it's a shame. It's actually a really good game. Developed by Slipgate Ironworks and published by 3D Realms, it's a dark fantasy FPS. It has elements of puzzle games, immersive simulators. It's a very unique game. It has a very unique style. The game hit early access on PC in May of 2021, but it's set to get a full 1.0 release and console port by the end of this year. The developers, they've put a ton of extra work into the game, and the updates have worked wonders, so hopefully it will get the attention it deserves when the full version drops later this year, assuming that it doesn't get delayed. At number 7, Destiny 3. I'm kidding. No. Destiny 2 Lightfall. Destiny 2? It's been through a lot over the last 5 years. What started out as an average online looter shooter with a terrible business model eventually evolved into one of the most generous free-to-play games on the market, and Bungie seems dedicated to keeping that more positive reputation going. There have been so many updates on this game, so many expansions since 2017, and now that Sony's paying the bills, we're probably going to see high-quality content come much quicker. Lightfall is the next major expansion. It's currently set to launch in early 2023, and this new bit of Destiny 2 content will feature the return of Emperor Callus, and you'll be able to explore the planet Neptune and the Emperor's base. Now, of course, will also come with a ton of new cosmetic content, likely another raid or two. Destiny 2 is in a really good place right now. In the business model, it's safe to say it's super fair. You can get pretty much all the game's base content for free now, and the expansions are reasonably priced for the amount of content they give you. If you haven't played Destiny 2 in a while, you might want to go pick it up. Dead Island 2. It's wild to me and my brain that this game is coming. It's been in development for like 10 years. It's changed developers a number of times. The original Dead Island was a decent enough zombie survival game with some pretty cool crafting mechanics, but after the developers went off and made Dying Light, it became clear that there was a lot of things the sequel could improve upon. Dead Island 2 is going to feature a more comedic tone and vastly improved blood and gore effects, which will make the combat more satisfying. Finally coming out next year on both the old and the new consoles as well as the PC, so make sure you pick up a copy when you get a chance because after 10 years in the oven, it has to be good. I guess you could say a game like this doesn't belong on a list of first-person shooters because even though it's a first-person game, most of the combat will be melee, but whatever. I'm excited for it. It has some first-person shooting, so it's on the list. At number 5, RoboCop Rogue City. I can't be the only one excited. I don't know why 80s action and horror movies have been getting so many video game adaptations recently, but I'm not complaining. RoboCop Rogue City, an upcoming first-person shooter developed by the same team that made the surprisingly good Terminator Resistance. Now, the game is currently set for a June 2023 release. The gameplay looks awesome. The graphics look beautiful. You play, of course, as RoboCop. You venture around the city, hunt down gangs and mercenaries, and wield tons of crazy gadgets and weapons. It's going to be a love letter to the classic movies, just how Terminator Resistance was a love letter to the classic Terminator films, and I'm here for it. Now, granted, it's also the same company that made Rambo the video game, but it's okay. They've totally redeemed themselves. I'm willing to forgive Rambo the video game if they keep pumping out the S-tier 80s throwback games. At number 4, Turbo Overkill. This is developed by Apogee? I think that's how you say it. It's an awesome retro shooter with a super unique art style. Soundtrack's killer, and some of the most insane combat I've seen in a first-person shooter. The weapons are crazy, the level design is pretty diverse, and the movement gives you so many different ways to approach your enemies. I mean, you can have a chainsaw on your boot, so you can cut people in half by sliding into them. If you don't think that's cool, I don't really know if I can trust you, honestly. I mean, it's currently available on Steam, but it's supposed to get console ports in the near future, so hopefully 2022 is the year that the console players get to experience it. If you've never played Ultra Kill, it's kind of a mix. It's a mixed Blade Runner, if you will. At number 3, Respawn's Star Wars game. Now, Respawn is one of the best developers in modern gaming right now. That's my opinion. They started out with the underrated and amazing Titanfall games. They followed it up with Apex Legends. Then they blew everybody away with Jedi Fallen Order, which is supposed to get a sequel next year. Respawn seemingly at this moment can do no wrong. Now, I'm excited about their Star Wars project. It was announced a while back that they're working on some kind of Star Wars first-person shooter that is reportedly going to have a heavy focus on the single-player experience and possibly even have PvP multiplayer. The setting and the story are unconfirmed, but the few bits and pieces of intel that have dropped suggest it could be set during the Clone Wars, which is perfect. Could you imagine a modern FPS developed by Respawn set during the Clone Wars? It would be the best Star Wars shooter ever. Now, there's very little information about the game, but we should be getting some more info next year, likely after the Jedi Fallen Order sequel launches, and Respawn can commit more focus to it. At number 2, Rip Out. Rip Out. Inspired by classic horror movies like The Thing and The Fly, it's a horror shooter. Yeah, finally making its way to PS5. 3D Realms co-op shooter. You fight against procedurally generated levels and killing hordes of mutant aliens, and there's a lot of body horror. Now, Rip Out is one of those games that will really make your skin crawl, but you won't be able to put it down because the gameplay is so addicting. The combat's pretty unique, and there's a loot system to keep you grinding for more weapons and gear. It doesn't have a set release date yet, but the Steam page promises a 2022 release, so we should be getting our hands on it in the next few months. And yes, it is coming to the PS5. At number 1 today, Modern Warfare 2. Should be a shocker. Modern Warfare 2019 was one of the biggest game launches in history. It's currently number 20 on the list of best-selling games of all time. Now, the Call of Duty brand has suffered a bit over the last 12 months due to COD Vanguard and the gradual decline of Warzone's player counts. However, the COD team is looking to bring everything back to the glory days of late 2019 and 2020. Sequel to the smash hit, and eventually a complete reset top-to-bottom update for Warzone. I mean, it looks good. The campaign demo looked awesome. Multiplayer news and beta right around the corner. I think this game is going to be an all-around improvement over the last one. Infinity Ward has already said their multiplayer map design is going to be closer to Modern Warfare's DLC maps instead of launch maps, which is perfect news for people who don't like campers. And I haven't even mentioned the brand new DMZ mode, which is going to compete with Escape from Tarkov for the hardcore survival shooter audience. Modern Warfare 2 is going to be massive. If Infinity Ward manages to correct the mistakes of the last game, it could actually end up being the best Call of Duty game in a decade. We'll have to see. There you have it. Those are upcoming games that will be on the PS5. Let me know what you're most looking forward to, and I'll see you soon.